By the time of his state funeral in March 1953, the man the world knew affectionately as Uncle Joe Stalin had been dead for 4 days. The people of the Soviet Union wept openly for their dead leader. To the Russian people, Stalin was a savior, the great leader who had plucked them and the country from the jaws of Hitler's Nazis and kept the Americans at bay. As they filed past his corpse, few cared to recall that Stalin had another, darker reputation as the murderer of millions of his own people. Ironically, the more severe Stalin became, the more he was revered by the people. A combination of propaganda and the ever-present threat of persecution turned Stalin into a demigod. This became known as the cult of personality. Called Friend of the Little Children, it was taken in 1936 and shows Stalin holding 6-year-old Gelia Markizova. She remembers the day the photograph was taken. Plans for the mass trial and deportation of Soviet Jews. We'll never know if Stalin's final solution would become reality. On the night of March the 1st, 1953, Russia's dictator suffered a stroke and died. The greatest tragedy for the Russian people is that the man who murdered relentlessly throughout his years in power, whom the West affectionately nicknamed Uncle Joe, would never be called to account for his crimes.